As we learned, the brother of the suspect accused of killing Laken Riley has ties to a notorious Venezuelan street gang.
Migrants. I brought it to you live as they came across, many of them clean, shaven, nice clothes, rolling a rolling bag. Something was up. Well, we're now learning from a report out of the Daily Mail that Chinese smugglers.
All right, buckle up. Fox News alert. Deputies and Coast Guard apprehending 24 Haitian migrants found aboard a fishing boat off the Florida coast.
And at the southern.
This is a crazy situation, and we got to talk about it. Welcome to Very Below Life. My name is Noel, and in this episode, I want to take a look at the news on how much gaslighting the Democrat Party is doing to make us think that everything is okay when we have this horrible migrant crisis. But we got to pretend like everything is cool. I don't like it. So check out this video talking about the migration problem that we are having.
The border, there's new concern about gangs as we learned the brother of the suspect accused of killing Laken Riley has ties to a notorious Venezuelan street gang.
Biden says he is ready to fix the problem at our southern border. Watch this.
Look, folks, we got a simple choice. We can fight about fixing the border, or we can fix it. I'm ready to fix it.
As the president, he could just put an executive order to fix it. He doesn't have to wait for Congress or anybody to help him out. He could just get it done. But look at him talking about fixing something, but not doing anything. Come on now.
Send me the border bill now.
What's he been doing for 3 years? Arizona Senate candidate Sheriff Mark Lamb joins us now. Sheriff, the president says he's ready to fix it. Why no executive actions from the speak last night?
An illegal immigrant charged with the murder of a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student, Laken Riley, is the Venezuelan who reportedly crossed illegally into El Paso back in 2022 and was released into the U.S. on parole. Here to discuss, retired acting ICE Director Ron Vidiello, along with Dan Rosenberg, who knows about stories like this all too well. His son was killed by an illegal immigrant. They both join us now. Dan, I'd love to start with you. I know you've spoken about this in the past. Your son was killed in a collision with an illegal immigrant. When you arrive at a moment like this, Dan, how does the fact that the perpetrator of a crime shouldn't have been in the country to begin with impact your grief?
Welcome back inside live now from Vox. We want to go out to Georgia next as we continue to follow the latest developments here of a person who has been arrested now in the death of a 22-year-old nursing student. That suspect.
One person is too many, and this should be enough to wake up these Democrats to know that we got to close down the border. They got to really implement something, not just saying they're waiting for Congress or for Senate. Horrible, horrible situation.
Charged in connection with that 22-year-old has been confirmed as an illegal immigrant who's originally from Venezuela. Fox News Digital learning this as of recently. 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra is the suspect who is charged in the murder of nursing student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus. He is a Venezuelan national who crossed illegally into El Paso, Texas in September of 2022 and was released into the U.S. via parole. 3 ICE and DH sources told Fox News ICE currently does not have comment on the situation. Let's bring you what we know so far about this investigation with Fox 5 Atlanta's Kim Leffler.
Jose Antonio Ibarra faces several charges, including malice murder in the death of 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student Laken.
And you know, the president had a problem of calling him an illegal migrant, because that's what he is. The president says he should have called him an undocumented migrant. Like they're looking to document everybody crossing the border.
Riley. Fox News has confirmed he was in the country illegally. We've also learned his brother was arrested for having a fake green card, which he used for a brief job at a UGA dining hall.
This court is not authorized under Georgia law to set bond in light of these charges.
On Saturday, a judge denied bond for 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra. He was arrested and booked into the Athens-Clarke County Jail Friday night after his arrest in the death of 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student Laken Riley.
The evidence suggests that this was a solo act. We took 3 or 4 people in custody. However, we're only going to arrest 1 in this case.
Police found Riley's body near Lake Herrick Thursday after a friend called them concerned when she didn't return home from a run. Police say she died from blunt force trauma. Fox News confirmed Ibarra was in the country illegally, crossing into El Paso from Venezuela in September of 2022 and was released into the country via parole.
He did not know her at all. I think this was a crime of opportunity where he saw an individual and bad things happen
Good morning, guys. There's an undeniable spring surge at our border. In the past 5 days, we've had more than 7,000 migrants at the southern border being countered. 5 days, 35,000. That's more than the population of Eagle Pass proper.
That's crazy. Again, the president doesn't have to wait for anybody. He could just close down the border on his own as the president of these United States.
Let's start in Melbourne, Florida. It's Sebastian Inlet. That video, body cam video you were showing, this is officials as they apprehended 24 Haitian migrants that came in on this fishing boat. What was the telltale sign for authorities? No fishing poles on that boat. 2 smugglers were arrested. There's concerns with the unrest in Haiti that we will see a lot more boats just like this. Now, let's go 2,500 miles all the way to the other coast, Jacumba, California, where we have seen the thousands of migrants. I brought it to you live as they came across, many of them clean, shaven, nice clothes, rolling a rolling bag. Something was up. Well, we're now learning from a report out of the Daily Mail that Chinese smugglers on the Mexican side are working with Mexican cartels. They're being called.
They should just call it an invasion. This country is being invaded. And we're just saying that we need money to process them and to give them documents to work, to get them in the military. What is this? Insane. We got to be verbal in life and we got to talk about it. We do not approve of this. Insane.
Snakeheads that help these Chinese get all the way across in places like San Diego County, where they're seeing a 500% increase in those Chinese migrants. Now, let's end in Athens, Georgia. The tragic story of Laken Riley, who should not have died because of Jose Ibarra, the Venezuelan illegally in the country.
Exactly. If he wanted to fix this, he could have fixed it already. And what he should have opened his speech with is, folks, we're going to close the border. That is what he is most underwater for right now in his polls, because all Americans are ticked off that he.
And all they care about is elections. This is a real problem. Forget about getting elected. It's a problem that needs to get solved. Come on now.
Hasn't closed the border and fixed the border issue. He has all the authority he needs to fix the border issue now without a new border bill, without any more taxpayer dollars. He can fix it with the authority he has under the Immigration Naturalization 212F. The same authority he used to undo Trump's policies.
If he did come out last night and say, right, I'm closing the border as of right now, I'm fixing it, I'm doing everything I can, it's closed as of now, do you think the Democrat Party would go along with that?
No, they wouldn't have gone along with it, which is why he took 40 minutes to do it. He talked about Snickers and whether there was enough chips in a bag. He talked about the fees that you're not going to have to pay on your Ticketmaster ticket long before he got to the border. And the American people recognize that stuff. They understand that this is not a top priority for him, especially when he waits 40 minutes to talk about it.
The president used the word illegal when describing migrants. Democrats are not happy with that. So what should they be called, Sheriff?
Completely a preventable crime.
It's like they're calling them undocumented migrants. So they want money to hire more judges and lawyers to process the migrants quicker. So now they can legally work and they're legal migrants. That's insane. How about applying like everybody else?
There's always going to be traffic collisions, crimes that are committed, but these are committed by people who have no business being here. Had he not been here, and there was also opportunities to deport him.
Meanwhile, 45th or Donald Trump, everywhere he goes, he just get a round of applause. We want Donald Trump back. Look at PBD podcast. I would hate that a lot of people see what's going on with the border crisis, with the economics, how the country is falling apart, and we can get Donald Trump. I hope he gets elected back in. And we got to be more verbal and talk about it. We need Trump back.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about President Trump, who has been on an absolute tear lately. Okay. I mean, this guy is more popular than he's ever been. I mean, if you look at the polls, I mean, even the liberal media polls, the New York Times poll had him up by 5 points over Joe Biden outside of the margin of error.
So right now he's ahead. I hope the momentum keeps building. So like that in November, people don't forget and actually vote for the man. You know, nobody can predict elections. They are hard to predict, but we need him back in, man. I hope the momentum keeps going. And don't forget.
Okay, Trump is as popular as he has ever been, period. Okay, and a lot of the popularity for Trump, I think, really does come from the fact that Joe Biden has been such a terrible president. That is why when Trump shows up to places like, for example, UFC 299, which you guys saw, Trump showed up. Not only does he get a standing ovation, but also F Joe Biden chants break out because, again, people really, really, really are not liking Joe Biden. Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Standing ovations, F Joe Biden chants. That is what happens when Trump shows up at an event or when he has an event. But when Joe Biden has an event, there are no real standing ovations. There's no energy behind Joe Biden. In fact, you have people protesting actively, going after the Biden administration and some of his policies.
You're a dictator, do genocide, Joe! Tens of thousands of
Yeah,
embarrassing, and that's what Joe Biden gets. But you know what? Again, I hope this momentum keeps building, and we don't forget that we need to get Donald Trump in. Right now, everybody's hoping that he gets thrown to jail, that he gets put in jail, or that he runs out of money, everything that they're doing to him in court. But I'm sorry. Happy Sunday. We just changed the clock. What time is it now? It's 2 o'clock now. And I just wanted to share that piece of news with you guys. That you guys know, we got to remember, vote for Trump 2024. Don't forget, we need that man back in the office. Because right now, what's happening in the border, insane. Letting in criminals, we got to be more protective. But that's just my opinion. Write down your opinion in the comment section below. This is your first time on the video. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm up to 1,600. And I want to keep making these videos. And I want to see some momentum building. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. So I could keep bringing you guys more information and more news of what's happening out there. Today is Sunday. I came down to the basement in my house. My name is Noel, battling MS. Happy to be here sharing my ideas and thoughts with you guys. Okay, with that said, let me see if I could run a little bit more. Let me see what the Black Conservative says.
That was the most pathetic 4 more years chant that I've ever seen in my life because they don't really believe that. Nobody believes that. Nobody wants 4 more years of inflation, right? Nobody wants 4 more years of open borders. Nobody wants 4 more years of more crime. Nobody wants 4 more years of sending money overseas to these other countries and fighting these foreign wars. But who knows? Maybe Joe Biden's supporters do want that. I'm not entirely sure, okay? I don't know exactly why these individuals think the way they do. I actually think they should be studied, okay? Because, again, I think they have Stockholm Syndrome, right? But with that being said, speaking of UFC, we got to talk about Joe Rogan, who actually did a recent show with Christopher Rufo where he discussed the Biden administration's diversity hires, people like Cringe Jean-Pierre, and just how terrible they have been for the Biden administration, a terrible representation.
You know what? I'm not going to run the Joe Rogan podcast here because I might get blocked. With that said, again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Noel, battling MS. Go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.